that means somebody else doesn't take your favorite activity. If I'm asking you like this first question I usually ask, and it works pretty good, kind of as an icebreaker. What's been your favorite activity in FFA since you've been an FFA member? Who wants to start?
I'll start.
All right, Jacob.
Well, I didn't go to much FFA events, but my favorite one was Ice Cream Social, the one I went to, because I like eating ice cream and just socializing with people.
I can identify with the ice cream, what word am I looking for here?
Social.
Yeah, but in terms, just like an ice cream period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to try to keep some in the freezer, but it doesn't stay there very long. All right, somebody else, another activity that you've really enjoyed.
Okay.
Before I do that, though, I need to back up to Jacob just a minute. Jacob, besides eating ice cream, what's the purpose of the ice cream social?
To get everybody and their parents to know about what FFA is about, and just let them know what's going on, and let everybody know, just see how everybody's doing, and check up on everybody.
It's kind of a mixer, isn't it? We like to use the term lots of times when you get folks together and you learn about one another that it's a mixer. So that's the purpose, basically, in the ice cream social. The officers present a little bit about themselves, so the new members really get an idea who the officers are, that kind of thing. All right, Cece wanted to share an activity.
Alrighty, one of my favorite activities is I like how we get to present at Beef Days, and we get to meet a lot of the kids that go to Salem, and you just get to make really good impacts on people. Like, I went to my mom's hairdresser the other day, and like this lady who was there, she instantly recognized me because she was there with her kid and said, like, talked about how great of a job that I did and how like I left an impact on her and her kid.
All right, very good and well described. One of the neat things that I've always thought was just outstanding about Beef Day too, as far as I know, last time I checked, it's the first activity that all the third graders at the 5 schools in Dent County attend together. Now they don't get mixed together like the mixer type like we talk about ice cream social, but they're all at the same activity, and you start getting an idea there's lots of little kids out there in the community, and then they bring in the aspect of the fact that here are FFA students, just like CC described, making presentations to the students about different aspects of agriculture, helping them understand just a little bit about where food, fiber, and the rest of our needs originate in agriculture. All right, another activity, someone else. It's your all's program. I don't want to monopolize the time. Go ahead, Anna.
My favorite is probably barn warming because, I mean, you get to see everybody from all the other schools and see how, like, far FFA stretches. Like, it's not just here. Like, everybody else has it, too, and you get to mingle with those people and learn more about them.
Does anyone know how many, in the United States, how many FFA members there are?
Nope.
Somebody should. I'm sure some of you are shaking your head. We should know, but anybody? No? I just happened to read it, I guess, just recently. I think it's 670,000 FFA members throughout the United States, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. So it's not a small group, obviously. All right, different activity. Someone else. Easton.
My favorite activity that we go to would definitely be a national convention. This is my second year going, and this year there was about 76,000 members that went. It's in Indianapolis, and you just get to meet people from all over the United States, and there's a job fair and a college fair as well. And there's some pretty good speakers that you get to listen to, so that's always good to go to.
It is, and you're very fortunate to get to go twice, aren't you? That's kind of changed. Used to, for years, as long as you earned the right to go, and you paid your share of the expenses, you got to go to the national convention. But I know there's been a change in that, and so you guys that got to go, and I know Easton and CC were among six students. That's what's got to go. And out of the, I like the way I said that. That's what's got to go. Gots to go. Did you all hear me say that? I swear. No, I won't swear. Don't. I was just kidding there. But seriously, just a small number. And compared to the fact that, how many members do we have in the Salem FFA? I ask another difficult
I
question.
definitely should know this.
Well, I don't know either, so I can't answer that one myself. But anyway, that 6 would be a pretty small portion of the total FFA membership, because I know it's over 150. I will say that much. All right. I don't think any of you said anything about your supervised agriculture experience yet, and I'd like for you to share with our listeners what you do for your supervised agriculture experience. Now, I might mention, I didn't really say this with the first hour group, the purpose of the supervised agriculture experience is to give the student the opportunity to and reason to apply some of what they learn in the classroom. That could range from as I'll just stop there because I'm going to ask them another. In fact, I'm going to digress just a bit. What have you found most challenging in ag education in FFA? What's been the most challenging aspect of ag education in FFA? Anyone? Easton?
Well, the most challenging to me is public speaking.
Okay. And what goes on in FFA to help you work on not necessarily solving that challenge, but at least being able to deal with the challenge more easily?
Well, a lot of the classes, we have to give speeches to the entire class or the teachers, and being an officer, I talk in front of a lot of the parents and all the members at one time sometimes.
Okay, and you can never get past developing all the communication skills that you can come up with. I know mine aren't very good in a setting like this. I don't know what my excuse would be, so I'll just say I just don't do as good a job as I'd like to. But to be able to communicate, you've got to do that. Whatever you decide to do in your future, is communication skills have to be there. Besides communication, nobody in this group yet, almost every group, the first thing that's mentioned over the years is the most difficult aspect of ag education is the record book, record keeping. You probably hear those chuckles behind the microphones. So there are some that probably, I know last group, Jordan Schultz was identified that just like as quickly as anybody answers one of the questions of record books. Yeah. And so and the reason I bring that up is just the fact that the supervised agriculture experience, again, these folks are going to share what their SAEs are. The record book is vital to having a successful SAE. Plus, the SAE provides reason to keep that record book. So, would you share with our listeners what your supervised agriculture experience is for each of you individually? I don't care who starts.
Alrighty. I work at Annie's Grill here in town, and then I also raise and sell a market hog at the 4-H and FFA Expo.
All right, a couple of diverse types of SAEs and enterprises in terms of raising livestock and also working on a town job. No better way to put it. Working in the food industry, though. I'm glad to see that. All right, someone else. What's your SAE? Anna?
I also raise a market hog every year for the 4-H FFA Expo, and I work at Town and Country Bank.
Okay. Again, a diverse learning about business and having an agricultural enterprise as well. All right, we're to the guys.
I work at Sonic, and that's the only job. That's all
Hey,
I
you're
do.
processing or at least delivering that food to the public that somebody else processed, and you've put it in its final stage for it to be delivered to the to the public. All right, Jacob, very good. Jacob? See, we're going to switch Jacobs. I just thought I'd throw you that curve.
I cut wood and cut and split wood, and I cut grass. I also work at Annie's Grill.
All right. Diversity again, and I appreciate that, and it's a positive thing. You know, anybody that is in production agriculture just doesn't do one particular aspect of it. Even if they're a beef cattle producer, they're also involved in producing the forage for the beef cattle to eat. They're producing the hay to store for the wintertime consumption. So it's very diverse. All right, Easton?
My SAE includes I show and sell a market steer at the FFA Expo, and I work at Annie's Grill, and I work on my car.
So this is the Annie's Grill crew.
Pretty much.
I didn't realize that. Well, my gosh. I'll have to frequent Annie's Grill more often. Yeah.
Come see us.
All right, I will. Well, they catered a meal I was at Wednesday, and the guys did a good job. None of you were there, but anyway, you don't get to do the catering, huh?
I went and I picked it up.
You went and picked it up?
I helped clean up. Easiest $10 I've ever made.
Easiest $10. All right. That's what their SAEs are. Let's go back to what's some of your future plans? Both here in terms of yet in high school, because I know we got juniors and a senior, and after high school. So I don't care who goes first, whoever'd like to. What's your future plans?
I'll go first.
All right, Jacob.
I want to attend a 4-year college and get a degree in criminal justice and do something with law enforcement. Something probably with the Forest Service or handling a canine for police force, because law enforcement is very interesting. You see stuff you wouldn't see as a normal citizen.
Yeah. Becomes a crazy world. You wind up, oh my. If you don't believe that, just watch the news of this week, in the last 3 weeks. All right, someone else. Future plans. Easton?
Well, my high school plans include want to be a valedictorian. I got a 4.0 currently, and
Congratulations.
thank you. And I want to major in botany, and I don't know where yet. So
Terrific field. Terrific field. If I'd have known more about it, I think in my youth when I was a college student, I would have pursued that area or some aspect very closely related to it. Crop science, particularly considering what the explosion has been in biotechnology in the last several decades. All right, someone else, their future plans.
I mean, yeah.
One of the girls. Anna?
My future plans include also being a valedictorian. I also have a 4.0.
Hey, congratulations again. Wow, I brought the students with good grades. I won't say smart students because all of you are smart, all of you are intelligent, but brought the academic achievers this section. All right, Anna, go ahead.
Well,
Sorry to interrupt you.
It's fine. I just got to pass Spanish 2 to keep that. But,
Little insight there.
yeah, I have to. My plan is to go to Texas County Tech in Houston and become a nurse, and then be able to just go into the hospital and work there.
Okay. Very, very needed.
Alrighty, I'll go.
Go, Cece.
My plans, like Easton and Anna, are to be a high school valedictorian. I as well have a 4.0. And
Wait a minute. I got to congratulate you, too. Jacobs, I'm sorry, guys. You just picked the wrong bunch to be in, didn't you? Oh, you got a 4.0 too?
I
Just say
did
you
until I took Spanish.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm sorry, Anna. All right, Cece, we digressed there, but,
You're
I
all right.
had to congratulate you.
Well, thank you. And I'm planning on going to college to either MSU, West Plains, and then transfer to Springfield, or C of O to study business.
Okay, excellent. All right, who we got left?
Me. I'm
All right.
going to Missouri S&T for mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineering. I feel very inadequate sitting with this group of students. Goodness. I congratulate you, seriously. You guys are doing a great job, and good luck in that are we in the last? Yeah, we're in the last semester, aren't we? So it's down to the crunch time, isn't it? All right, let me ask about something a little bit different, and I didn't deal with this with the last group. This is contest season. We used to call them contests. Now we use that fancy term, career development events, CDEs, and they do lend towards career development. And that is, are any of you involved in any of the contest teams this spring? Okay, I see 3 hands in the air and a head going up and down, so that's 4 out of 5, so we should have a lot to share about our CDEs that we're involved in. Who wants to go first on that?
Yeah, I mean, I can go.
Go ahead, Cece.
Well, me and Anna, we are both on the same contest team of floriculture. I did do this one last year, so maybe this year I can do better than I did last year. I've definitely worked hard at it already, studied a whole lot more than I did last year, and I'm really determined to get it this year.
Good. You want to add anything on that, Anna?
Can I talk about what I did last year?
Sure.
All right. So livestock judging, it was all fun and games until it was pouring down rain, and I had to go out and livestock judge in the mud. And so, if you're ready to be in the rain, I mean that's a good one to do, but it was not fun. It was cold.
Okay, there's some advice for younger members from Anna is just go make sure you're prepared for everything. You betcha. All right, anybody else doing a career development event? Yeah? No?
I am.
All right, Easton.
This year I will be doing forestry. Freshman year I did ag knowledge, and last year I did soils. Soils was very cold and not very much fun in an open field when it's windy. But
Who knows? This year may be a repeat if
Yeah.
the way it's been so far with the miserable winter we've had. And I think it'd been more enjoyable if we'd had lots of snow with it. About half of this moisture had come down in snow. It'd been at least it'd been fun to get out there and play in it, right,
Yeah.
guys? Okay.
We'll make us some snow ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. All right, that's a little bit about their career development event experience and plans. I don't have these questions really out of any order, so I'm kind of digressing back to something I probably should have asked at the very beginning, but it fits here as well. Why did you decide to enroll in ag education and become an FFA member? Why? What prompted you to decide this I need to be in this program? Cece?
I don't want to waste any time. So, the reason why I joined FFA would probably be because of my older brother Morgan. So I had never really heard about FFA before when I was younger, and both my parents actually were in FFA. They went to Stillville there. And so just the more I learned about it, the more I wanted to be a part of it, because I learned about how much fun they had, all the things they did, and I wanted to learn about it, learn new things. And so that has to be the best decision I've ever made, is to join FFA.
Okay. Anybody else? The girls at least are willing to talk today. Thank you, girls. I'll just thank you both.
I gotta follow up Cece. That was a heartwarming answer. Okay. So, mine's probably the same with my older sister, Amber, is probably the reason because, neither of my parents were in it. My mom thought the Blue Jackets were not her style, so she didn't do it. So, she was in it, and she would come home, and she would talk about all the things they did, and she'd be gone on trips and everything, and I just thought it would be fun to join and be a part of, and I've learned a lot from it, so I'm glad I did.
Okay. Great reasons. Great reasons. What about the rest of you? Why did you decide? Jacob?
I just like being outdoors. I know ag FFA doesn't involve always being outside, but my whole family, we just like being outdoors, like to hunt, fish, and it's just great outdoors. Anytime you get outdoors, it's a blast.
So part of it might be a good way to summarize it for you might be the variety of what's involved in ag education and FFA. All right? Nope. All right. That's fine. That's a fine. What we got so far. What have you seen as benefits to you of ag education and FFA? What have been the benefits? How have you yourself individually benefited, or it's been good for you? In what ways? Jacob?
Definitely record bookkeeping. It has helped me learn a lot about saving money. I used to want to spend money when I was younger all the time, but now I've learned to save money and save receipts.
Okay, good point. When I asked about the most difficult thing, of course, as we said a little bit ago, that's usually the first thing that comes up as the most difficult aspect of ag education, FFA. But it's good to find somebody that actually realizes that benefit that it does have. And hey, guys, you'll always have to keep some kind of records. You know, if you're going to be a nurse, the record keeping is phenomenal that you'll have to do. If you're a botanist, you know, you have to dot every I and cross every T and to the nth degree. So that's always there, is record keeping of some type or aspect. The rest of you, benefits to you. Cece?
Alrighty, one of my favorite things is I get to meet so many new people. I have made so many new friends, new memories, and I have a blast to every FFA thing I go to, except for some meetings. But that's all right.
And it probably doesn't hurt that you're so shy and that you're so introverted. I'm sure
Stay in
that's
my own ball.
Cece's pretty outgoing, that's for sure. She is. Okay, that's some of the benefits. Anybody else got anything they want to share on that? I should have asked this because it's a question I added on my list later, and it's down out of chronology on my list of questions to ask you guys. But how has the vacation coupled with the weather break, how's that affected your CD preparation? Now they're thinking, how has that affected? Did you miss practices that were scheduled, or how has that worked out for you?
Is anybody else going to go before I talk?
No, they don't want to.
All right.
Quiet bunch.
Well, we haven't really had any set practices that have already passed, but I know we do have one coming up. I just can't remember the day. I mean, I can get back to you on that some other time. And so Miss J and Mr. Howard, they pretty much depend on us. We have the responsibility ourselves of to study and to keep track of everything, to learn new things. That's why for our floriculture team, we have PowerPoints to look over, and then we have prints of the papers for the list of the flowers, the list of the disorders. Yeah. And so I'm still trying to find the floriculture binder that we left down there last year, but had a little bit of trouble with that.
Okay. I'll just leave that there. Let me pose this question to you. And we're getting close to the end of our time here. I have to keep a close eye on the clock that we don't, I know these folks are so, particularly this group, they're so committed to their academics that we've got to make sure and get them back on time so they can get to that next class. They don't want to miss any more class time than they have to. And by the way, I say that with some facetiousness, but I must point out that these students that we are having on FFA Day today here on KSMO are all coming over during their ag class. They're not missing any other classes as long as I get them back on time, and we try our best to do that. Pose a question to you here. Let's say you have the opportunity, or someone, I know some of you come through 4-H as well, a student that's out there in the 7th or 8th grade. What would you share with them in terms of reasons that they should highly consider enrolling in education and becoming an FFA member? What would you say to a junior high student? Well, we used to say junior high, now it's middle school. What would you say to a middle school student about ag education and FFA to encourage them to get to consider it? I'm not saying push them into it. That's just like Cece said, her mom and dad really didn't push her into it, but she learned about what they had enjoyed about ag education and FFA when they'd been in it at Steelville, so that's had some influence on her making that decision. What would you share?
Definitely be open-minded. There's so much in agriculture and FFA that you can be involved in. It's crazy. Just be open-minded.
Okay. Give it a chance. Cece?
Alrighty.
Were you going to add something? I thought I saw your hand up.
Well, I was just going to say that I can go next.
Go ahead. Let her go, right?
I mean, I'm more than willing to let them take a turn.
That's right.
I don't want to steal all the shine. Alrighty, I would definitely recommend being in FFA, especially if you are interested in pursuing an ag career. It gives you that extra step up for whenever you go into college, more information. It makes everything a breeze for in the future, if that's definitely the field that you are planning to be in.
And as you listen to these students, what their future plans are, almost every one of them, some aspect of agriculture will be involved. Jacob mentioned being in criminal justice and enjoying working with canine units. Well, canine units are our number one defense against biotechnology or biosecurity, biohazards coming into the United States. Right now in China, the African swine fever has taken hundreds of thousands of hogs, killed them, and so the pork supply in China is down. But the danger is that particular disease being transferred, and transmitted to the United States and affecting the U.S. pork industry. So even, you might think, criminal justice, he's not going to have anything to do with agriculture. Well, that's not necessarily so. He doesn't know what aspect for sure. He knows he likes that aspect of working with canines, so it could be that winds up. Over here we've got the botanist who's going to engineer the next super high, production wheat or whatever. And they're chuckling, but who knows?
Yeah.
Somebody out there has been involved in doing the genetic engineering that has got us to this point, and it will continue. Even though there's, you hear all this stuff about GMOs, the negatives. Look at the productivity that has been generated from it, and chance to feed the world really is what it is. That opportunity. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Anything? Anna? Easton, go ahead.
Even if your job the job that you want to have doesn't relate much to FFA, you still learn a lot of skills like how to keep records and how to presentate in front of people and just talk to people normally. And it just gives you a lot of opportunities to meet new people and get a step up on other people, and also scholarships possibly. Yeah.
Good points. Almost every group that I interview during FFA Day on KSMO, we talk about the fact that a lot of them come from one of our schools in the grade school years. Well, then they're put together with other ninth graders from our 80 and the other R schools, and sometimes you come in and there's been adversity between those R schools you came from. And all of a sudden you're in the class with somebody that you didn't think very positively about as you came through grade school. But over time, what happens to that opinion of those people? Does it change?
It sure does.
Yeah, it changes. You learn that, hey, they're just like us. They put their jeans on just like we do, one leg at a time. So I'm going to ask Cece, as we are about to wind down, I'm going to ask her to share some of the folks that made this time here on KSMO possible, our advertisers. So Cece, if you'd share that list for us, please.
Alrighty, so we have Common Grounds Bistro, Tax Masters, Knight Auto Care, Larson Collision Center and Larson Rental, Salem Farm Equipment, Southtown Furniture, City of Salem, Fairground Auto Plaza, and the Bank of Salem.
All right, very well done. And my thanks to C.C. Reed, Easton Ingram, Jacob Walther, Jacob West, and Anna McDaniel for an excellent job here on KSMO's FFA Day. Back to Stan.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. At KSMO Radio 1340, it's at 9:39. We want to thank our group number 2 of our FFA students for coming in and spending some time with us. So we want you to stick around for our civic record coming your way next.
Here at Riverways Federal Credit Union, our mission is to be your hometown financial institution, providing versatile solutions and making a positive difference in our members' lives. Riverways Federal Credit Union offers home, business, and farm loans along with great rates on checking, savings, and CDs. We commit ourselves to the credit union philosophy of people helping people, adding value to the financial lives of our members, families, and communities. Visit us today at riverwaysfcu.org or one of our locations in Rolla or Salem. Riverways Federal Credit Union, a positively different financial institution. Member NCUA and Equal Housing Lender.
Join your Community Cares Rural Health Coalition for a community conversation about the impact of the opiate epidemic on you, your loved ones, and the community. This conversation has been rescheduled for Monday, February 25th at 5:30 at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. Your input will help guide the work of the coalition to assist in helping you, your family, friends, and community stay safe. Complimentary appetizers and drinks will be provided. Mark your calendar for the community conversation Monday, February 25th at 5:30 at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. To reserve your spot, call Sherry Lee at 8163.
Good morning. It's now time for a look at our civic record. It is a program of church and civic news and a mention of persons recently deceased. Brought to you by your friends at the Wilson Mortuary right here in Salem. We have a wide variety of funeral products at very affordable prices, spacious chapels, and comfortable surroundings. To find out more about the services that they can provide for you, contact Chris Hendricks at 729-5555 or in Viburnum 573-244-5554, or you're welcome to drop by 1000 Scenic Rivers Boulevard West. Wilson Mortuary, a family tradition of service in Salem, Dent, and Iron counties. Susie Mae King of St. Louis passed away on Monday at the Cooper County Memorial Hospital in Boonville at the age of 78. Funeral services for Susie Mae King will be at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Boss Assembly of God Church in Boss, with visitation from 11 until service time today. Interment will be in the Boss Cemetery. Susie Mae King is survived by 2 daughters, Cheryl Delo and husband Joe of Boonville, and Sheila King Mills of St. Louis, 2 sisters, Gail Holt of Sykeston, Missouri, and Lou Pryor and husband Kenny of Boss, a brother Tom Botkin and wife Coretta of Boss, 6 grandchildren and 7 great-grandchildren. All the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for Susie Mae King, whose funeral services will be at 1 this afternoon at the Boss Assembly of God Church in Boss. Robert Bob Sherrill of Licking passed away on Saturday, February 16th at the age of 80.